Perplexity's Comet browser and ChatGPT's new agent tool are introducing a new way of using the web and really a new type of search than anything we've seen before. Since not everybody has access to these tools yet, I wanted to walk through a brief demo. So I'm in the Comet browser and I've entered in a prompt here. And my prompt is asking this agent not only to find birthday gifts for a few different example family members, but importantly, I'm also asking it to add these gifts to the cart on the best website that it found. So I'm asking it to do some type of evaluation, make its own judgment about what is the best, meeting my particular criteria, and go ahead and add that to the cart for me. So take some kind of action for me. So I'll go ahead and get this started, and then we can see it in action. Now, at first, this works pretty similar to what we've become used to with AI tools, right? This works just like ChatGPT or Google's AI mode or regular Perplexity or Claude or any of them, right? Is going to go and it's going to search its knowledge base and it's going to conduct different search queries and it's going to bring in different information and it's going to find something that it thinks is relevant to what I'm looking for. In this case, gifts for different example family members. But here's where this gets interesting and different, right? I asked it to not only just find information for me, I asked it to make some kind of judgment and then add items based on that judgment to the cart. And we can see that it just started opening up a website and engaging with that website. And it's trying to place those selected items in the cart for me. Now, right now, Comet's browser is limited to only going through and finding different things on a website, maybe adding those to the cart, completing certain types of actions, but it's not able to complete that transaction for me. But it's not hard to imagine a future where it also completes the order. And that's really where it starts to change things. Honestly, it already is trying to change things enough just with what we have here right now, even before it can complete a transaction. Because with this change, that means that we're moving from searching for answers and information to searching for actions. And that really changes how we need to think about search, how we need to think about SEO, because now we aren't just thinking about optimizing our websites for information retrieval, right? How relevant is our text to a particular query? But we have to think about how we adjust our websites for agentic interactions, like what we're seeing here from the Comet browser. And as we're watching these different interactions, we have to evaluate this and see, what is it getting right? What is it getting wrong? What is it doing correctly? What kinds of things is it finding as it goes through and uses our website? Where is it struggling to use our website? I've started to refer to this as bot usability or agent usability. And at Elementive, this is something we're helping our clients test out. We're deliberately testing agents and bots to make sure that they can use the various websites correctly. Now, there's a few big things to keep in mind. Obviously, all of this is evolving, and there's a lot more that's going to change with this in the future, and going to be lots of other things we need to keep in mind in the future. But for now, at least, I'd point to a few big things that are already jumping out as changes that we need to pay attention to. First and foremost, there are new page types that we have to think about for SEO that we've never had to think about before. And we're even seeing it in some of these examples that Comet is going through as it's searching for these different gifts and putting them in the cart, right? It's going through and it's using site search pages. It's using cart and checkout pages. And those aren't pages we've traditionally thought of as something for search, because we don't want cart and checkout pages to rank in search results, or we don't want site search to rank. But we now need to make sure that those pages work for agents to go through when they're interacting with our website. Now, along with different page types, we're also seeing Comet engage with forms. We've never had to think about that before, right? Googlebot never had to go through and complete a form on your website. In fact, Googlebot wouldn't go through and complete a form on your website. But now these different agents are going through and completing forms. And we have to think about, how do agents work with those forms? It's a new type of thing we have to think about for SEO. Another big consideration is measurement. Now, none of these interactions that we're watching Comet do, none of the ways that it's using this website, they're not being tracked back to the Comet browser. There's nothing that says that it's coming from Perplexity even. There's no referral data passed to analytics tools. There's no user agent data passed to the log files, as far as analytics and our log files are concerned, this is a direct visitor coming to the websites from a Chrome-based browser. And that's a pretty big problem, because the reason Comet even found these websites in the first place, the reason Comet is even able to engage with these websites, is the result of the work the SEO teams at these various companies behind these various websites did. And all that work the SEO teams did isn't going to get the credit it deserves because there's no tracking in place. So if SEO teams are struggling to get the credit they deserve, that's going to make it harder for SEOs to continue to prove their value. And we need to think through, how do we change that perspective as we think about agent-based search. All right, it wrapped up here and we can see the results. It recommended a few different types of products and different things that might work for this particular example scenario. But importantly, it's also added everything to the cart, right? We can see that it's placed things in the cart for me across different websites. So let's say we open up lego.com as an example, and we can see that there's an item in the cart already for me. And that's the item in the cart that Comet selected for me that it thought was the most relevant here. So if I look at this and I agree that, yeah, this is the one that I want, I can go ahead and just place my order. And again, for right now, I have to still place the order. An agent can't do that for me yet, or at least Comet can't do that for me yet. But that's something that I would suspect is coming very soon to a future agent that will be able to place those orders. So there's obviously a lot here that changes with how we need to approach SEO. Our strategies need to change. Our tactics need to change. How we measure SEO needs to change. So if you need help with any of that, if you're going through questions and trying to figure that out for your company, for your website, do let me know. You can email me at matthew@elementive.com. If you liked this video, want to see more information like it, please follow, connect, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.